going on, everybody? It's Rick from Worms with Rick. Gonna check in on the Vermihut Plus. And there's a little worm. There's a whole bunch of castings already. Look, there's more over here. Right there, right there. With this guy not being all the way down and in, he's making it back to the bin. I can still see the mat kind of looks dry, but the worms are exploring. Looks like I had a paper towel or napkin from the last feeding. That's the perlite from when I fed the winter rye. Okay, so some of the bedding was matted. Looks like I still have just a little piece of some type of citrus, whether lemon or lime. There's another little piece. I am going to be probably rotating this to the middle for this feeding. So all these leftover scraps are going to get transferred to the other tray. But I just wanted to kind of see how everything's looking. That corner feels kind of moist. Like I said, there's a bunch of that perlite. Definitely need to make sure that the corners are kind of loose. Okay, so just going to move this down for right now. This tray is now going to become the feeding tray. These risers have helped out tremendously. The weight of the Vermihut Plus sometimes, or even I guess any tower system, starts to push down and compress the castings, where these leave the little bit of airspace so everything doesn't get all compacted. I wanted to get that food up, so we'll go ahead and just kind of rotate a little bit. I see some worms in here, which is a good sight. It's been a little while since I've been down here, so I figure I will give them a little bit of moisture. So the old feeding tray, now this has become the pre-harvest tray. So this will be down here for multiple weeks, so anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks. And it's just going to allow the worms that are still down here to continue to work on some of the bedding and any of the food scraps that were still in here. I try to wipe the corners off when I'm putting these risers back in. And then I don't want to leave a big kind of mound right here. I want to try to even it out and fill in some of those gaps that I made for the risers. Looks like another piece of avocado shell, so I'll just move that up. This almost looks like a piece of like the pumpkin stem or something. I'll move that up too. I do have some dry leaves, and I normally don't put any dry leaves into this bin, but for today I will, because I have them up here ready to go. So that'll be a nice little treat for the worms. With them being dry, I will add just a little bit of moisture. Typically with the fresh bedding, especially leaves, I do like making sure I get a little bit of castings on them to help start inoculating them. This is a great feeding with some pulp. Pretty juicy too. Over top of the feeding area, I do like to add some grit for the worms, especially with the fresh bedding. This is going to be ground up eggshells. Ground up eggshell is a very good amendment for your worm bin. It's a pH buffer, so if the bin starts to get a little too acidic, this helps to bring it back towards neutral. Also, the worms don't have teeth. They have the crop and the gizzard, so they can take small bites of the eggshell, and as they wiggle around, that helps to digest the food. And then over time, that helps to add calcium and other elements back into the garden when I put the vermicompost into the garden beds. Because that feeding was so juicy, I'm just going to take a napkin and wipe my fingers down. So that just supercharged that napkin. I'll put that on top of the feeding area. So one other thing, I always try to cover up my feedings. That helps to prevent flies and other insects from getting in. Freezing my food scraps also helps. So if you have fruit flies or fungus gnat issues, if you make sure that you bury your food all the way and then you also freeze it, that tends to help. If they're already established in the bin, you are going to have to get rid of that first, but once you can get them under control by doing this, I haven't had any issues or problems with fungus gnats or fruit flies. On top of the feeding area, I have a little bit of my worm chow. So I go ahead and just sprinkle this on top. Everything was pulverized in a blender. So there was expired oats, flour, cornmeal, and eggshell. This is available for the worms right away. So while those other food scraps continue to break down with the biology from the bin, this is available for the worms right now. And to finish her up, I will just open this up, and I think the worms are going to really enjoy this. So might as well wipe off the rest of the hand. Make sure you guys are subscribed so you can come follow along the different bins that I have. I have a total of 6 right now, and I'm looking to make a new bin for the lower basement. And when I do that, I will be sure to bring you guys along and show you how I'm doing it. If you guys have any questions, don't forget to drop it down in the comments. Thanks for coming along and checking out the video. Everybody have a great day.